Should be good. Just feed her.
That's right, dinner.
She's part Holtmeyer.
I see we're starting board members at a younger age.
Absolutely, it's never too early.
Why, thank you.
Oh, Andrew. So she'll leave the hair bow in?
It depends.
Okay.
Just don't remind her.
Okay.
Light?
We don't have the light anymore. It streams to YouTube now. We have a Mac back there.
Boy, you guys are fancy.
Oh, wow.
Fancy.
Okay, well, I guess we'll call the meeting to order of the Washington Historic Preservation Commission on Monday, November 20th at 5:30, which we are grateful to be early because we had a meeting. If we could have roll call, please.
Carolyn Witt,
Here.
Dave Struberg,
Here.
Brian Bogue, Rick Hop,
He's here.
He's here. You.
You.
Oh, I can, yeah, I'm here. I thought you said Bridget.
my voice is going today.
It was like
Danielle
something's
Groville.
changed.
Danielle?
No.
Here. Jamie Holtmeyer,
Here.
Andrew Clary,
Here.
Bridget Kelch,
Here.
Joe Holtmeyer,
Here.
Mark Hydridge, Susan Waterman, Sal Maniaci,
Here.
John McCreary.
Here,
Okay, if you'd all rise for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I hope everybody got a look at the minutes from the October 16th meeting. Are there any additions or corrections or discussion about the minutes? Entertain a motion.
I motion.
We have a motion, second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. New business. We have lots going on. The 217 West Main Street, the awning for Chimera, or Chimera. I think is Chimera is exactly the Greek, I think.
I have no clue.
But Chimera Creative Works.
All right, well, so I'm sure as everyone saw, it's up already.
So
So,
wasn't it an existing?
well, it was, but it did require a permit because it's a new frame. So if you're just replacing the actual awning, I know it's really dark. Jamie, would you mind hitting the two left switches?
So they
Better.
replaced the frame?
Well, if you go out there, it's not that shape, isn't it? Or is that?
Because I mean, I wish that is it bubbled or?
This is bubbled, and the new one is larger, isn't it?
It's still, yeah, if it's bubbled, it's still bubbled.
Okay. Regardless, they filed the paperwork, they just didn't wait for it to be completed. I think it was a misunderstanding, I'm not honestly sure. But it meets the code requirements, and I think it fits the DREAM initiative. It's black with white lettering, and it's a new clean awning. I think it looks pretty nice. So I apologize, I thought I had a picture of the new one, and I went through my emails, and it wasn't in there, and then by the time I thought about it today, it was too dark.
Just for future reference, if anybody has to replace frames from now on, we do not want bubble awnings.
Okay.
That's a no-no.
Okay.
It's a straight.
Does it say that
We
in
want it says that in the
on the
old,
left there?
yeah, it should say it in both design guidelines.
Oh, okay.
But there's so many of them, like Lucy has and BFA, and there were some existing, and that frame is so expensive, most people don't replace it.
Right. So, and honestly, they came in for a permit preemptively, but if you're not replacing the frame, you don't technically need a permit. It's just like if you're getting a sign and you're sliding the new piece of plastic in there, you don't have to get a permit for that either. Now, hopefully, we don't get backlit plastic signs downtown, but same thing with awnings. So, really, I don't have another picture to show. I apologize, but it's pretty much good to go. May as well just close it out.
Okay, is there any other discussion? Penny has something to say.
Is that still green or is it black?
It's
now?
black,
Oh, okay.
Black.
black with white letterings. So,
I motion we issue a certificate of review.
Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Please issue the certificate of review.
did somebody see that? I thought someone sent the picture in an email, the completed one.
That's
And they
not
went-
it?
No, that's not it. But okay, well,
I think
if you want to go by, you can look at it. But I was I was going through our old emails. I could have swore someone sent one to a reply all and said, here it is.
Jamie, was that you that replied that?
Yeah, it's already up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I just thought there was
we
a
got that
picture
right,
of one, but,
yeah.
okay. So, all right. Why
Kind
don't
of
we
as
move
soon
on?
as we got it on the agenda. The 600 West Front Street, the deck on Elijah's.
Yes, so they're replacing the deck. Well, I mean, it's really the roof of the patio. I think originally it did not actually have access. There's those doors up there, but it, you know, you can see what it looked like originally. Those are too low. They didn't have any seating, or I don't think it was like a smoking lounge or anything. But they are replacing it with, and actually designating it as a deck and replacing it with 48-inch, which is the requirement for the railings. This is what it looked like before they took it down. This is the original rendering for the building, you know, prior to everything. And this is the fun fact. This is why, and Bridget actually let me know that this building is not individually listed on the National Register. It's in a district, but it's not on the National Register because of the fact of everything they added. You can see the
Cupola.
It doesn't, it's not supposed to look like a southern plantation.
Right.
yeah, and then all the
Dormers and
dormers, that's what I'm looking for, and whatever you want to call this
the
up top.
cupola, yeah.
So, but that's what it looked like originally. And
It's
then-
one of our 5 oldest buildings left. It was built, they moved in Christmas Day of 1838.
Wow.
So, and then here is the material they're going to replacing it with. So,
So do they want to be able to have seating out there?
I don't know if
Is
it's gonna
that
be
not
seating,
allowed?
but it's, I don't know if it's gonna be seating, but it's considered an actual deck. That's what the permit says, a deck permit.
So they can go out there?
They've got doors to it.
I think they want for photo opportunities for weddings and stuff like that. That's what I've heard.
It's rotten right now.
Right.
Okay.
So, and it's white wood, wood rough baluster.
It's a synthetic.
Okay.
It's Fipon. I think it's the same stuff. It's on the top of the post office, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah, we use AZAC.
Yeah, same type of thing, yeah.
Okay. Any other discussion? Is there a motion to have a certificate of review?
I motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Issue the certification. We have a demolition, which always brings pain to the heart of a Historic Preservation Commission. However, some things need to
Right.
go. So, Andy, would you like to come tell us about this?
That was so welcoming, Carolyn.
Well, no.
thanks a
It's
lot.
just, you know, because that's what we do. But at the same time, we're a pretty
All right.
group, so.
Tonight, I'm Andy Understall from Washmo Main Street Development, and we're proposing to demo the old Bowl and Feed store and the house next door to it. I purchased a property on the hopes of saving the building. Actually, I got some extra property for parking, leased some property across the street from Todd Bolin. There's a vacant lot over by the old schoolhouse there and stuff like that. But after getting into the building a little more thoroughly, looking at it, meeting there with an engineer, the building is only a 2-brick wall building instead of a 3-brick wall. If you go to the east side of the building, you know, the front corner leans around 8 inches on the front corner, and in the middle, it's like 16 to 17 inches, depending where you measure it at the top, where it has a bow to the west. There's really no way to jack up the building. I mean, the building possibly could stand forever. You know, we are going to be tearing out the sidewalks and stuff next to it there to bury the electric, you know, along the side of the building. But it's not really feasible to try to jack it up or save it in any way. So my proposal is to take it down, but in doing that, I want to save all the brick I can out of the building and use it for the new structures I'm going to build on that site for the front of those. Not a real good picture, but we'll use it on the brick on the front of these buildings. There'll be some 2,000 square foot townhomes there. They're 2-story on the front, 3 stories in the back with a 2-car garage in the basement. Similar to what we're going to build across the street at the corner of Main and Market on the west corner. There's 3 of those units. This would be 6 more units in the 2,000 square foot range. And And then I also want to use some other components of the building and the construction of the commercial building on the corner of Main and Jefferson, when we do that building there, so.
Is that a stone foundation?
Yeah, it's got a stone, no, it's a poured foundation underneath that.
Do you know
There's some
the-
stone and some, it's kind of a mix match of everything in that
Do
building.
you know the date of the building and the house?
I do not.
There's no plaque on that building? Anyone know?
We probably hadn't gotten that far yet.
Yes.
No.
there is.
But,
There is?
There is?
There is a plaque. I walk past it a lot. I can't remember what it is, but yes.
Well, if it's a poured foundation, then it's newer than we think.
yeah, the side wall over here is poured, but I think there's stone on the other side, the way it looks in part of the basement. And then there's some additional beams that they've stuck in the basement to try to shore the floor up and stuff like that.
It's got some really wide flooring, some cool stuff inside.
Yeah, there's a bunch of lumber and stuff inside we'd like to salvage. I also had John McQuarrie walk through it with me too and look at it, just to take a look at it. I don't know that we actually have an opinion on it, whether it needs to be demolished or not, but
Yeah, and that, well,
I'm
that's.
not going to speak for him.
Right.
So-
Well, and I asked John to be here too, whenever Andy mentioned that this, it may not be salvageable or feasible to be able to save, and so we set up an inspection with John McCurry as well to go through, just because Andy has third-party engineer, we thought since this is going to be something that, not controversial, but something that we're going to look at and make sure we do our homework on, we asked John to go through it as well.
Yeah.
So.
I just don't know the feasibility of trying to save it or you can't take the subfloor loose and jack it up and level it because the walls would fall over. You can't, I don't know where to start with it. So at this point, I plan on just taking it down, and, replacing it with more living space, so.
More downtown, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I'm not
I think the only thing that I would think of is that the Historical Society likes to extensively photograph any building
Sure.
before it goes down. So give them the opportunity, Mark or George.
Okay, I would do that. Like I said, I purchased a building, I didn't purchase to tear it down, but.
Is the house not in?
The house is, the house is savable, it could be saved, but with the whole new development there, I think it will all tie in better than just leaving the house and sticking like 2 units there next to the house. It kind of ties into the whole project that we're doing there, so that's why we kind of decided to take it down. Originally I was going to take it down for parking for that building, so.
Bridget, do you know who did that mural? How long
Oh, it
it's been there?
predates me. I don't know. We'd have to ask Todd that, I guess. Todd Bolin.
I just didn't know, maybe they want some pictures or something, but if there's a family.
Yeah, I don't.
I do not know. It's been there.
Yeah,
as long as
I'm
I
dealing
can
with
remember.
Todd on the property. He's decided I can ask him about it, and so.
John, do you have anything you want to throw in?
He's like, nope.
No?
Okay. Okay.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, you can see where the water's dripping off of the, off of the top of the wall there where the mural is. The drip line is, I forget what it was, pretty close to a foot out in the sidewalk. The wall is severely out of point.
Right.
It's,
I don't know what that car is, but I wouldn't have parked there.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah, in the basement too, you can put your fingers, from the top of the foundation, where the foundation is to the subfloor, the brick wall leans enough where you can put your fingers in between the joints, so.
I was going to say that west wall, even I know that the floor does not touch the wall.
Right, yeah, and that's why they added some beams and posts and stuff. It's kind of like a floating floor basically inside the 4 walls, but,
Well, hopefully we'll be able to relocate the business.
yeah, we're working with them on that. We have a couple ideas for them and hoping they'll relocate downtown. I have another meeting tomorrow, so.
Good.
Just so everyone knows, this is not located in the TIF district.
Yeah,
To know is,
yeah,
may
this is
not
not.
be, maybe a disadvantage for Andy, but I will tell you, since if we're looking at relocating, that is a lot of hoops we don't have to jump through, because if you're relocating business in a TIF district, there's a lot of red tape you got to do as part of the state requirements, so.
Yeah, this parcel is not part of my original project. You know, it's just that when I purchased the back property from the owner, you know, he requested I take everything on the whole lot, so. And so I agreed to do that, but then at the time thinking I was going to save it, you know, but but after, like I said, we got in to explore options on how to, you know, make the building more, you know, sustainable and feasible to use, but it's not going to happen.
What's the timetable, Andy, just for like the historic preservation? You know,
I would say, right now, I'm talking to the owner about March, April, you know, something like that, so. But it may be longer than that. It's going to take them a little while to move stuff out. There's a lot of things in there, so.
Yeah.
Is there any significance to the house that somebody would want to photograph that also?
I would think so, yeah.
Is that rental property now, Andy?
Yeah, but we can get in it if you need to, yeah.
I was thinking both, yeah.
It's,
Okay. Are there any other discussion, any other comments?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Do we have a motion? I guess it's a certificate of review, even if it's for demolitions.
Yeah, so it won't be the certificate of review for what you see here on the screen.
Right,
Oh, yes,
You'll get, there'll be another one with a building permit.
right.
Because we did a certificate, if you remember, we did a certificate of review for the whole TIF
Yes.
originally.
Yes.
But this is not part of that, so that's why you haven't seen one in a while, because we did the whole
Yeah,
certificate
because
the
that's
last
just
time.
what
But
we went through with the drive in the back and the,
yeah.
right.
Yep, so when Andy comes with a building permit for this, there'll be another certificate.
Are
Okay.
those facing Market?
These are facing Main.
Facing south, yeah.
Yep,
And then you'll come in off of Market.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
So they'll
a
face
back-
here,
Are
Okay.
you-
oh,
driveway will be
It'll be
here.
right on the sidewalk.
And Joe, you'll probably get that tonight? We did that at planning and zoning?
No, so this is going through a rezoning process, but that has nothing to do with the plating. That is
Okay.
just to get it into the C3 zoning. He'll get through the plating process and everything later.
Okay, well, but it's,
Do we need a certificate of review for?
The demo.
taking it down?
Yes,
Yeah.
yep.
right.
There is a certificate of review for demo.
All right. Well, I'll make a motion for a certificate of review for the demolition.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Okay. International Shoe Factory, thank you for coming.
Well, no, there's one more thing on here. The number 4 is the
Oh,
annual
I'm
report.
sorry.
No, that's all
I'm
right.
sorry. 4. Our
We
annual
sent you all
report.
the annual report compressed down. It was a big document. If you have any questions on it, let us know. We've already submitted that to the state. We have to do that once a year to be eligible for grants. It's the certified local government report. So Jill had actually prepared a lot of that because she did it as she went. So when she left in June, or was it before that?
It was the end of April or very beginning of May.
May, okay. So,
She had almost all of it done. I just had to plug in a couple things that happened after she left.
so we just added trainings and then some certificates. So
Thank you.
those were the only things that really got added. But so if you have any questions, and then I would request a motion for that. I
A motion to
don't.
approve it.
I'm not sure if the state actually requires the commission to pass a resolution accepting it, but if they do, then we'll have it.
Right. Okay, does anybody have any discussion about the report? And I thank you, Jamie, because you have a good person to take and run with, because she always did a very good job on reporting, and it really does pay to keep up with it as you go through the year. And you have to keep on us if you need information from us for you let us know.
Yeah, make sure throughout the year, any trainings or anything gets sent to her.
Absolutely.
And she gives copies of the minutes in there, but anything outside that you do that you think is even pertinent, or if you see something in the paper that maybe wasn't necessarily a picture of any of us, but is pertinent information, just send it over and we'll put it in the report.
Right, because it makes it a lot easier for her to keep it together. Okay, do I have a motion for a resolution to accept the annual report, the CLG annual report?
I'll motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second? There's a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much, and thank you, Jamie. Okay.
So the International Shoe Factory, I'll just run through these if that's all right.
Sure, please
Okay.
do.
We received the contract back from Landmarks today for Phase 2, so they're going to begin that. I think the nice part is once they sign that contract, they kind of take over with the, what do they call them with the state? The milestones.
Milestones.
Yeah, so they kind of take over the milestones, which is nice. So I'm assuming if they haven't scheduled, it's coming quickly with, they set up a conference call with the state to make sure that, they understand the schedule and everything. And then typically they like to get out here after the leaves fall, so we'll probably see them out here starting to take pictures this winter, start doing their inventory. So, and then we haven't heard back on Phase 3 for the funding. It would be the third and final phase. Last year, they didn't get through announcing it, I think, until December or January, announcing which projects were funded. So hopefully we'll hear that in not too long. And then also we have, just for the factory itself, we are still in contact with the potential developer and his engineer. Really just his engineer, it's been the point of contact. No real movement, but it's last I heard about, I guess it was 2 weeks ago was when I called. Project's not dead. They're still collecting information, drawing up some plans of what they think may be possible, so.
It's amazing. Okay. Does anyone have any education they'd like to throw out?
There were 2 seminars sent out today for options. Like we can forward them on, one in Moberly, one in, they weren't online, so I don't know if we'll have, maybe we'll go to them, but one in Moberly and one in, I can't remember, but we can send them out just so they see if they're available.
Registration is open for the National Main Street Conference that'll be in Kansas City in March. And if you want to go, you can volunteer under our name and get half off your registration. So, but those volunteer opportunities will go pretty quick. So if you're interested, I don't know, Sal, if you
I'm
go.
registered.
You registered already? Look at you. All right.
Wow.
I would recommend it. I mean, it's not often we get a national conference this close, and they're very interesting and they're a good time.
Yes.
They're offering AIA credits, just in case you need some, Steve.
Kansas City's a fun place.
Oh, I know.
Barbecue.
I went to school up that way.
Well, there you go. Think about it.
It's in March, right?
Yes, March 26th through the 28th.
Okay.
Is it a 2-day commitment?
You can just do it one day. Mm-hmm.
And
Or
it would-
3 if you want to stay a while.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's why I was like,
No, one day, if you figure out what looks like the most fun and the most educational for what you want to do, they'll have a lot of tours and programs, and the last night they have a big dinner. Is it the last night?
Big Bash, yeah.
Big Bash.
In downtown Lee's Summit.
So, okay, we can pour you onto the train in Lee Summit. Okay, curb appeal. I don't think we're,
I'm sorry, we have stalled on that. We have identified properties and unfortunately, time just got away and now we can't take pictures right now because it's not really pretty
it's not the best time of year.
But maybe there are some properties that don't need the weather. I know one of them.
Are you saying
did,
yours?
and then
fence is up, so we'll.
Oh,
Huh?
he's ready.
Oh, you're ready, huh? Huh? All right.
If.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And again, if you've got a list, then you're ready for spring. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna have to wait and do. Hopefully March will be.
Yeah, because usually we didn't do much in the winter, so that's fine.
Okay, the point is, we do have properties identified. I just don't want them to sit there for a while before it's like old news.
Right,
you know?
right.
But on the good side, though, one of my neighbors on Main Street, it's really coming along, 205 East Main. Met the owners, and they're working hard, brick by brick, so it's getting there.
It does look
great.
really good, really nice.
Yeah.
Especially, if you find some before pictures, it was,
With the tree growing out of it?
Oh, it was
Right.
grim,
I
yeah.
asked
It was
if
the
at
witch
one
house. That's what
point
my
to
kids call
replace
it.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Sidewalk or something, and they said, actually, we might be on the Christmas tour next year, the holiday.
No.
I was like,
Oh.
I hear that's how you get your sidewalks fixed.
I wish John was still in here because he would not say that's true.
I like that, I like that.
Fingers crossed.
That's great, that's great.
If it's a trip hazard, that's how you get your sidewalks fixed.
Oh, we can find someone to trip.
There is, he actually, I will say, if, this is actually good for this committee to know, because he let the Corps know. Originally, we had a list of prioritized areas where sidewalks and panels need to be replaced that were trip hazards. And John admitted that list was just in his head. So now we do have a list on a spreadsheet where it's prioritized, and here's when it get fixed, here's what should get fixed and when it should get fixed. And if, like, right outside here at Neighborhood Reads, there was an incident where someone tripped. Luckily, they didn't get hurt, but they did report, hey, I tripped over the sidewalk, it is a trip hazard. It got moved up, and it's already fixed.
Yes.
If I turned in all the sidewalks that I trip over, mostly it's my feet.
I'm just saying, so
There are some places.
it's good for this committee to know if there's something that's really standing out to let John know, and he can get it on the list.
Right.
What about this just popped in my head, like ADA compliance stuff? There's a couple of telephone poles that if I can't fit a single stroller by, and I'm just worried, would the city be, is there a liability to the city for something like that? Or is it grandfathered in, you know what I mean?
Also, good question.
Yeah, it is. I know there is some grants you could get where you can,
Bury more utilities?
well, I think, yes, honestly, yes, where if you are,
Great.
if you can show that the utility pole that needs to be replaced is not making your sidewalk ADA compliant, you can get some funds to bury it.
Write it down, dude.
But I don't know, that would be a John Nilgis question,
Oh,
because I know
you
that
just
was,
said Walnut Street.
okay. I know that was a thought on Front Street, but it turned out they were far enough apart from the sidewalk, they were still ADA compliant, so we couldn't tap into that.
Right. But if you have one that is, that's good.
Here, I'm trying to get a picture of that.
We're out on Walnut.
Right, well, there's one right beside our house. The pole is right in the middle of the sidewalk, so it's hard for a person to walk. Right there.
Right here.
Oh my gosh, look at the house, look at it.
Is that the old picture? Does
Yeah.
it have the vines growing out of it?
You can barely see it, but it's all green.
Yeah, there, you couldn't see the house.
Oh, the sidewalk actually looks much worse than that now.
Yeah, well, they probably had a lot of work in it
Steer
now.
on it, Jamie, I mean,
I think it was natural, I think the city.
So there you go.
There's the house and that vines, right?
It's covered, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
my kids called it the witch house.
Yes.
Because it scared them, especially in the wintertime when there's just those gross sticks coming out of the top. I don't want to go by the witch house.
So,
That's good, that's good.
yeah.
Okay. Creating new history, we did get a picture taken with the speckles, and it was in the newspaper, and that was great, and I've got to go get the sign, put it back in my garage and wait for the next exciting opportunity. The 320 Jasper Street property, Jasper House,
That one,
We talked about it. at
Well-
Council.
but that's a good sign, because,
and I will tell you that Darren did tell me to stick around tonight for executive session for that, so hopefully I'll have something.
So, yeah, it's,
Because I know I said it was going to be on there last month. I didn't stick around for executive session, so I can't report on it. But I know that we're going to talk about it tonight.
we
good,
talked about it.
because I appreciate the fact that it's on somebody's agenda and it's being spoken about, even for better or worse.
Pennies out.
Budget report, I don't think we've been spending any money.
We have not spent anything. Now that we've officially started that contract, you'll see probably in 3 months our first one on
Right.
that. So keep in mind that grant is now 50/50. We're going to be paying 12 instead of 8.
Yeah,
So we'll just have to cut back on training and plaques.
right.
Which if you weren't doing plaques anyway, we had the
Yeah,
money
we've
available.
got kind of on a hold on the plaques. Conferences,
Oh.
you went to did you go to Marceline?
I was unable to attend Marceline, but we had 4 people from here attend. It was all about board training, volunteer recruitment. They said it was really good. Do you only want it in the report if actual commission members attend, right? Or could it be citizens?
It's got to be commission members.
Okay.
Commission members, okay. And as she mentioned, the National Main Street will be in Kansas City in
Oh,
March.
Brian went.
Brian Bogue,
Yes, he went.
So
Okay.
we'll,
I'll get you that.
That was after
you.
October 1?
yeah, yes.
Okay.
That was in November, first week in November.
Yeah.
So that would be for this year. So we'll get you information. And then the Calvin,
Yeah, we kept this on because at the time there was some movement, but, I started, at this time, I don't think they're ready to get to a price that anyone's comfortable with.
There he is.
Ryan?
Hello.
We were just saying you went to the training in Marceline. Did you have anything to share with this group on your training?
Welcome.
Sure.
Hi.
No, it was actually a really great training. It was a lot of it was about honestly about recruiting people for volunteer positions and how to recruit people who will actually not just be a warm chair but benefit the organization. So, and then a lot of it was about losing staff, losing board members who have a lot of knowledge, and how to replace that knowledge, and how to make sure that you can go on, exist after that without a huge shock to the organization. So it was a really good training. We have a lot of good notes that we'll share with the downtown board, and we can share it with this board also.
Excellent. If you could write up a brief and send it to Jamie, that way
I'll do
she
that.
would know.
John Vietmeyer was there as well, and we were going to share our notes with the board, so we'll just forward that here as well.
Good, and that way you'll know what was the valuable kernels of information. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Perfect timing. Is there any other old business? Or any business at all, other business?
What about the Calvin Theater?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're kind of
I don't have anything new
at
on
an
it.
impasse. I don't
No.
think anything has changed.
I had to call the USDA on a different grant question, so I brought it up. He said that he didn't think they had anything that could
I
really.
think the booth's gonna be moved into somewhere. I think.
It's going into Four Seasons, the old auto warehouse behind them. Yeah, so it'll be out of the weather. The ticket booth that we
Oh.
rescued. And I don't know what's happening to the marquee because it can't stay at Ziegler any longer. So I don't know what's going to happen to the marquee.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have it on simply because being aware of the continuing deterioration. Yeah. Is there any other business? We do not have a meeting next month. We don't meet in December, so the next meeting will be Tuesday, the 16th, because of Martin Luther King Day, and so council meeting and our meeting, the city will be closed on Monday, so we'll meet on Tuesday.
And it'll move back to 6 o'clock,
Yeah, our regular time.
unless anyone.
But we do thank you for the moving, because we might have had a meeting at 6, and that would have been, several of us would have had to be there, so. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
I have a second.
I feel like I shouldn't do either.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, meeting adjourned.
That's a quick meeting, wasn't it, Brian?
Yeah, that was great.
I was trying to give you something to do.
Penny was
Thank you.
voting for you.
That's nice.
Shit, Penny took the vote.
She's a cutie.
She was so good.
I know. I was like, oh, we are just teetering here.
You should have just let her be loose back here.
Yeah.
She's like,